Is today's version of yourself better than yesterday's? Oh, that's a good question. So today's discussion is about how can we make sure that every day, well, as we go along, our version of who we are is getting better as we go compared to the past. What is important is how to pay attention to the little changes so that we may not notice big differences as we go along, but over a period of time, it will make a big difference. And the reason for that is if we want to make the world a better place, we want to make a difference, one important aspect is our energy level. I know Tony Robbins has his Unbreakable Challenge this week, and he was talking about how keeping his energy high is important, and it is important, I think, for you and I as well. So the big question is, how can we make sure that our energy level gets better as we go along? Well, I was looking at how to pay attention to that, and Tony Robbins today was discussing how look it is important for us to look at patterns in our lives. And you know what? All of us have our little inside voice that tell us what's best for us, but too often we're not paying attention to that little voice. So let's see if I can give you some example. So the first one is about sleep. I do think that we don't sleep enough, or at least don't have good sleep. And the reason for that is too often, I don't know if it is the same with you, we get up in the morning and we feel tired even though we should feel rested. So, as much as I like to think about the fact that I sleep well, think about the pattern of your sleep. The idea is, do you wake up energized or not? Okay. At what time do you go to bed the night before? So it is important. What do you do before you go to bed? Most of us will say, well, I should have got to bed earlier, or I should have not watched the last movie. I should have not gone on social media at the end of the evening. I should have read a book away from screen an hour before I went to bed. So, my first point for you is the following. You know what's best for you for the sleep. You have to think and reflect about what you know would be best for you. One aspect of me would be for me to go to bed at 9 and get up at 5 or 6 so I can have 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I do know that's what I need. But too often I get cut and with things to do, it's 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30 before I go to bed. So I know what I have to do. And most likely you know what you have to do too. So the question is, what are we going to do about this? So as we mention often, if you put it in your agenda, there's a chance it will get done. So one thing you could decide to do is to write in your agenda a time for you to go to bed. The idea is if we can plan when we sleep, then we have a restful sleep. The chances are that we will feel a bit better the day after. And we hope that with the time, we will get better and better so that our body will be able to find the cycle that works best for itself. So that is my first idea on sleep. And on this, I have an hour before 9 o'clock tonight. So let's see how this video will go. The second point is good food. We know what good food is. We know that what we need to eat most of the time. We do know some food energize us. For example, some great, sometimes I have a great salad with chicken on it. Excellent. I feel energized after. However, there's some of the food sometimes that I eat, sometimes a sandwich, and I think that bread sometimes brings my energy down. I do know because I've noticed it. However, I do enjoy toasts. I do enjoy sandwiches. So the idea is, well, it's okay because I like it. The idea is, how can I look at the patterns in my diet to see what food can I eat to make it better? It's possible that you might have to meet a dietitian to see what food works best for you. You may have to make a list of the food you like, and knowing that we need to slow down in how much processed food we eat. And all the time, it's always about us buying those kind of food. So what can What can we lower in our consumption? I'm sure we can take care of some sugar, and we can some take care of maybe having more veggies in what we eat. That's also a good idea. Okay, so if we take care of our sleep and good food, what else do we have to do? Well, I think the third part will be to be active. I'm not saying to get up early, go to bed late, and be busy. I'm not talking about busyness. I'm talking about having an active life. So, what can we do to have an active life? Well, some people will say, well, I go to the gym a few times a week. But what if you don't have a gym or you don't have money for a gym? What can you do then? Well, here are a few things that I do that you might enjoy. For example, when I go shopping, I usually go in a parking lot and I park in one of the parking space as far as I can from the main door. And the reason for that is I have to walk in anyway. So how about I walk a little bit more and enjoy the sun as I go there. And on top of that, it gets rid of all the stress about finding a parking spot close to the door. So that's something I do. The next one will be finding a way to, when you go and get the mail, instead of going straight to the mailbox, you could decide to go for a detour to before you go to the mailbox. And instead of doing a few hundred feet, you can do maybe 600 feet to go there. Today I went for a walk at the end of the afternoon, and as I was getting close to my house, I saw one of my neighbors that was leaving their house and going for their walk. So I said, "Well, let's." I had not seen the person for a while, so I decided to go for a walk. And funny enough, I did a walk one way, and her walking path was exactly the same as I, but the reverse. So guess what? I did my walk as if it was twice the distance, and you know what? It was excellent. Instead of taking elevators, you can take stairs. The whole idea is how you can be a bit more active in what you do. Sometimes people say, "Well, I like to read." Well, some people read on treadmills. Some people like to read as well. You could decide to take an audiobook and go for a walk when you do that. There's cycling. There's all kind of things we can do. The idea is not to appreciate a chair or a couch and stay there more than we need to. And that's what I think is a good active life. My third part about, no, my fourth point about making sure our energy level stays up is to be surrounded by good people. Now, keep in mind that we are surrounded with all kind of people all day. People from our family, neighbors, the workplace, our social interaction with our communities. And there's some amazing people in that group. And there's some people that sometimes drain our energy. Now, the question is, how can we make sure we are among people, or our community gives us as much energy as possible? Well, I think it's a matter of looking at the sum of all the people around you. So if you have people that energize you, and that when you're with them, each other, you energize yourself, that's amazing. What you could decide to notice is, okay, some people, when I'm with them, I feel a bit tired after I see them. But if they are important in your life, what you have to see is, okay, these are the people that I feel energized with. These are people that when I'm with them, I don't get more energized or get tired. Some other people, they drain my energy. The whole idea is to look at the sum of all of them and see, okay, is the total interaction I have during the day, at work, at home, in my community, is the sum of those interactions give me energy? So that's what we'll have to look into. Because keep in mind, there's a lot of people that need our help. And what is interesting is sometimes people that need help and they are welcoming our help, this is energizing. Sometimes there's people that need help and we feel that we have to give a little more. So what happens is, if you even out with groups of people that are giving you energy, some people need a bit more help. At the end of the day, if you keep tap of the energy balance in your day, you will notice that if you keep it in the positive side, then your days should be getting better. If you see that the overall sum of all the energy in your day seems to be lower, so what happens is in long term, your energy can get smaller and smaller and decreases, and then you get to a point where you feel, I feel tired. So if you have every day have a positive sum of the interaction, and it's a little bit more positive, a little bit more positive, the idea is you, your neighbors, your family, your coworkers together. The plan is to increase our energy. You might have to find new people to hang out with. You might need to look at new social situations. You may have to help more people, because you know what? Helping is a great way to be with people and to appreciate what we can do for each other. And at the end of the day, what do we want to do? We want to become the best version of who we are. And I do believe that you can achieve that with those four key points. One, making sure you get enough sleep. Second, making sure you get good food. Third, make sure you get a good active life. And the fourth one, to get surrounded by good people. On this, go and do great things, and let's see how our lives are getting better every day. So